approached by someone, right? Why don't you stand up for me? If you're approaching her, someone else is holding the leash, come on over, right? She's more interested in Peter, because he just took her outside. She's sitting calmly, hey, yes. Good. Very nice. Look at Dad. Come over this way. Here, lass. Right? Let's cooperate a little bit. There we go. We're just going to have to use Peter and the camera then. Nothing good happens until she sits. End of discussion. Only things happen that are good are when she sits. So as he's approaching, right, all I'm doing is disabling her ability to jump on him or move forward. She's curious about the camera. The leash is still relatively slack. I'm going to offer him something to offer her that he can only deliver when she's seated. And again, the hand doesn't move, and the dog is not allowed to access the hand. Right? She keeps moving away, don't keep moving forward. Right? She keeps moving away, that's her decision, not his. Right? The food's over there. There's only one way to access it. Sit quietly in front of the dog. All right? Stoop down and offer it to her. From there, draw her forward. Hand up, hand up. Now deliver. See how that works? Right? Don't do this. I hate that. Just simply hold it in front of her face, and then when she ignores it, then you can give it to her. Right? Make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Girl.
So one of the most dangerous things we have during the day is when, as I get up before my wife, she comes down a half hour later, and she's in her nightgown, bare legs, and she comes after, she's like, oh my God, so
She should be on a leash and collar. Remember that conversation from last week? Here, last. Good. Sit. Very nice.
We have been putting her on a leash, but she still jumps up.
If the leash is in your hand, she
She
can't
always
do
has
that.
a collar on, but.
If the leash is in your hand, she can't do that, right? So you're sitting at the coffee table, or you're sitting at the kitchen table, and your wife comes down the stairs. If she's dragging the leash on the ground, of course she can access your wife. That is a management issue.
But that all feels like the restraint part, and what you're teaching me, which is I think great, is about the reward, like that she understands sit reward, and it seems like my wife should be the one that's doing that. Right?
Well, your wife can't handle her and not be dumped on at the same
No, I would be the one handling it.
Right. So basically, again, the approach is right. So you hold the dog, right?
Yeah. Okay. So now
You
you're
turn around and walk out, and then come back. So I'm your wife, but I'm not putting on the nightgown because nobody needs to see that. Hey! Right? Stop moving. So it's don't use your hand, just use the length of the leash to restrain the dog, right? So I'm
just
going
like
to
I just did, right?
You use your hand.
Don't pull.
Don't pull. You're just holding the leash in such a way that the dog cannot escape.
Okay.
Right? So if you're holding the leash and I go to approach, hey puppy, how you doing? She's sitting. Good girl. Reinforcing it. Yes, good dog. Delivery. Right?
Yeah.
Pawing does not get reward. Using your teeth does not get reward. Sitting there quietly and expectantly gets reward. If she's doing this, the treat is there, but none of that stuff gets to happen until she's calm.
So
right?
my wife comes down the stairs with the treat and ready.
She doesn't have to have a treat. What I said earlier, remember? It can be reward, it can be praise, it can be access to a game, it can be food. It doesn't have to be any of those things at any specific time, it doesn't have to be all of those things. It can be any of those things. It doesn't matter. Right here. Right, restrain her so she can't jump. She expects food. I don't have any food. What am I going to do? Good girl. Right? I don't have to touch her.
What a ripoff.
Right? But the thing is, though, is again, if all you ever do is use food, what's the dog's expectation? I only have to do this for food. If we do it using a variety of things, we're teaching the dog, there's a consequence for your refusal. There's a consequence for you using your mouth or your feet. The positive Reinforcement comes when you sit quietly. You get the attention you seek. They don't really care if it's food, right? You make food available, they care about the food. If I make reinforcement available, it doesn't matter what form it comes in. That's the important thing, right?
Yeah.
Hey, come here, lass. Pop up. Yeah, don't use your hand. Let her figure it out.
Okay.
There's dogs out there, so she's going to go, what's that noise? Hey, Bella, here, lass. Hey, pop, pop, pop. Hey, you can restrain her from doing that too, right?
From going between my legs?
Yes, by controlling your leash, right? So, let's see if this is okay. So when she's doing that, okay, how you handle the leash determines what access she has. So she wants to escape and go back to dad. I just disabled her ability to do that. So she's fighting. Her instinct is telling her, move away from the pressure. So she moved behind me because that's the only way the pressure can be relieved. She's having her little Walmart hissy fit. Then she sat. Right? We're going to ignore that behavior. We're not going to reinforce it by talking to her or interacting with her in any way. Right? So she wants to bark and scream and carry on. My hand hasn't moved. Right?
Yeah.
In order for her to find comfort, what does she have to do?
She has to move into a comfortable position.
She has to move into the pressure, right? She wants to fight, and there she just figured it out. She's going back because she's a little bit of a fool, but most puppies are, right? So I'm letting her sit there and figure it out. I'm not contributing any information. She has to discover that on her own. And there it is. Good girl, very nice, right? She was reinforced for not only stopping the struggle, but giving me eye contact, right? What she learned is that means fight harder. So we have to persist in order to extinguish that behavior, right? Because she's doing these things contingent upon the fact, good girl, yes, right? So she doesn't want the food that time, that's fine. Pressure is only relieved when she's doing what? Two things. Sitting quietly, and what else did she do? She gave me eye contact, right? The only time I even acknowledged her was when she was looking at me, right? Because this doesn't cut it. Okay?
Right.
And again, my hand hasn't moved. All I've done in opposition is simply stand here, right? We went through this last week, remember?
Yes, I remember that.
Okay?
I remember.
Diving between my legs doesn't work. Fighting me doesn't work. Sitting there quietly is the only thing that works. Good girl. Very nice. See that?
So
She gave it up a lot quicker this time. Right?
Yeah, and I think a lot of what she's feeling right now has to do with the dog sounds and these other things. She's really worried
Doesn't matter.
about distant dogs.
Yeah,
you know,
doesn't matter.
the ones that are 3 yards over that
Right.
are carrying on.
That doesn't matter.
So, but this is a successful approach for helping to
Because
deal
what
with all of that.
what did she register just in that 3 minutes? Nothing bad happened to me.
Right.
I can't escape the consequences of my acts. And if I just sit here quietly, this stuff goes away. Right? So, and again, same thing. I'm going to apply direct pressure this time because we're not encouraging that whining. We want it to stop. She understands pressure means don't do that. Right? See how quickly that happened?
Yeah.
Right? Is she giving it up entirely? No. But she's practiced, so we have to continue insisting. Right? You're not going to get a miracle cure.
Well, we've had virtually none of this sort of thing until this big dog event yesterday.
Girl! Yeah. Well, that's why you don't allow that to happen. Right? Okay, so take over. Oy.
Come on, baby. I hope that didn't hurt your back too much.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. My back is trash.
She's still pretty strong.
Good girl. That's a rewardable moment, right? She stopped, she turned, she looked at you. Very nice. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
We're not rewarding when she's whining. We're not rewarding when she's fighting. We're not rewarding when she's jumping. We're only rewarding when she's relaxed. Right?
Yeah.
So there, right there, I would give her an auditory reward. Good job.
Good job,
Good
sweetie.
girl. Don't better.
Good job, honey. Good job.
Yeah, and you don't have to give her food all the time. You did all three things after I told you only do one.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
Yeah.
So you have to be careful that you're not building arousal, right? You want to make sure that when you reinforce one thing, that's all. Good dog, that's all you need, right? Because if you do more, what happens? She starts getting excited again, right? Just hold the leash and let her figure it out. Because if you give her feedback, she's going to be afraid. And that's not what we want, right? Good girl. What a good girl. Very nice. Right? That's all we want to do. Reinforce the positive thought, right? Reinforce the fact that no harm is coming to her, and she's going to start relaxing a lot faster. Okay. You want to get Pearl?
Sure.